Judging process, if I might. The judges' selections of the finalists and the winners are based on the following. Number one, quality of reporting, news, and analytical value is number two. Originality and exclusivity is number three. And in the broadcast categories, production value and visual impact. Excuse me, my phone is ringing. I'm sorry. Yes, this. Hello, Lou. Oh, Mr. Dobbs, how are you? Yes, we do have the Immigration Writing Award category tonight. And I will, yes, just as you designed it, it will be best writing in a category on immigration that agrees with a position held by Lou Dobbs. That is what we'll have, and I will bring you your award later, Mr. Dobbs. Thank you. All right. 56 preliminary judges, I don't know whether Lou was one of them or not, met to discuss the entries in their assigned categories and selected finalists from 400 different entries to advance to the final judging, kind of like American Idol. Avoiding conflicts of interest was paramount. In the preliminary round, if an entry came from the judge's own organization, that judge could be part of the discussion but could not vote. At the final level, a judge whose own organization was a finalist was required to leave the room, recuse him or herself completely until a vote and decision had been made in that category. Announcing the finalists will be done in alphabetical order according to their organization or publisher. The winners have not been announced in advance. I don't know who they are. Three final but very important points. First, all of our finalists receive a special certificate, and that will be available at the conclusion of the program at the registration table. Number two, this was the former home of the Bowery Bank, I'm told, and winners will receive a cash prize in addition to the award. So, if you're lucky enough to be a winner tonight, do not leave home without it. These will also be available at the end of the program, presumably over by the registration desk. Third, for those who are winners this evening, we ask that you do keep your remarks brief. Those who win the Menard Award and the Lifetime Achievement Awards get a little special dispensation, but we would like all other award winners tonight to make their way to the podium promptly and to keep their remarks to 1 minute long. So let's begin with the first category this evening, and that is small newspapers. Small newspapers will be presented tonight by the Assistant Managing Editor of the New York Times and the 2003 recipient of the Menard Editor of the Year Award, Glenn Kramer. Glenn, welcome.
Thank you, Tyler. The small newspaper category is defined by papers with a circulation of up to 150,000. This year's finalists are Scott Finn and Tara Tuckwiller of the Charleston Gazette for The Killer Cured, a groundbreaking report on the dangers of methadone and the startling number of deaths the painkiller has caused. The reporters did extensive legwork, told tragic personal stories, and showed FDA warnings were insufficient. The Gazette's reporting caught the attention of 2 U.S. senators who introduced legislation to improve FDA surveillance. Nathaniel Popper of The Forward in New York for The Kosher Jungle, a gutsy piece of reporting on the working conditions at a kosher meatpacking plant. Popper uncovered the unsafe inner workings of an industry that receives little scrutiny. He stood up for immigrants toiling in Iowa, writing about injuries they sustained and a heavy-handed effort to thwart a union drive that set off a debate within the Jewish community. Mike McAndrew and Michelle Breidenbach of the Post-Standard in Syracuse for the Great Empire Zone Giveaway, an incisive series that exposed the ineffectiveness of New York State's system of offering tax incentives to companies in an effort to protect jobs. The reporters pieced together the story through the use of many public documents. The state's lieutenant governor cited the stories in promising to improve the system. And finally, Kyle Stock of the Post and Courier in Charleston, South Carolina, for timeshares. This reporter dramatically illustrated how timeshare properties can be a sinkhole for owners thinking they are getting a good deal. The series showed how weak laws allow companies to operate with little oversight. Afterward, the state's Realtors Association and legislature began considering reforms. Will the finalists in the small newspaper category stand? And please join me in recognizing their work. Thank you. Please be seated. The 2000 Loeb for small newspapers goes to Mike McAndrew and Michelle Breidenbach of the Post-Standard in Syracuse for the Great Empire Zone giveaway.
Did my category have to be first? This is very exciting. I'm going to keep this very short. I want to thank my co-author, Michelle Breidenbach, who couldn't be here tonight. She's an amazing journalist. I would like to thank John Lammers, our projects editor, who's the best editor I've ever worked for. I'd also like to thank Jeff Ray, a data editor who is often forgotten in these kinds of ceremonies. And I'd like to thank the Post-Standard's publisher, Steve Rogers, for giving us the time and the resources to take on this story. And also, thanks to the Loeb Foundation.